Dr. Seuss, more like Mr. Seuss. Sorry, you're not a medical doctor, okay?
Will no longer be published because of what's described as racist and insensitive imagery.
I'm just playing with the PhDs. Don't get fucking triggered, okay? Chill.
The business group that protects Dr. Seuss's legacy says that move is to make sure his catalog represents and supports all communities and families. Carly Shimkus is here to give us the lowdown. We all woke up to this morning, Carly. What's the deal?
Wow. Yeah, well, today is Dr. Seuss's birthday, but rather than celebrate, some of his iconic children's books are quite literally being canceled. Dr.
They're not being canceled. They're like retconning the racist shit that was in his books. And also on top of that, like Dr. Seuss himself was apologetic about it. So I don't even understand why anyone would ever get mad at this one way or the other. The people that get mad at Dr. Seuss and say like, oh, he was a disgusting piece of shit. They're dumb. Okay, shut up. No, he wasn't. He definitely did do a lot of racist imagery early on in his career, as we found out, and truly repented for it later down the line, and has a insane amount of anti-racist cartoons that he's created in his career. Okay?
8 months.
So to all the liberals who are like, no, Dr. Seuss, I hate him, like he's terrible, whatever the hell, like I don't know. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Also, on top of that, I found out, as always, okay, as always, because whenever something like this happens, like people who did not know anything about him will search through a person's history to find something bad that they've done to justify their anger on this particular instance, instead of being like, who cares? Yes, he was racist, or he drew racist shit early on, and then no longer did it, and thought that it was bad. Changing it or changing the books is fine. Like freaking out over it is ridiculous. So, but that's not enough usually. So people will jump to find out whatever the hell happened. And apparently he was an asshole. Apparently he cheated on his wife while she was dying of cancer, and then she committed suicide. So now people are like, well, okay, it's not the racism. Well, then it's the cancer suicide thing. Okay, well, he's fucking dead. What do you want to do? You want to go take a shit on his grave? Go, have fun. I don't really care one way or the other. All right? Yeah, you figured it out. You figured it out. You found a way to get mad at Dr. Seuss. Anyway, regardless.
10 big juicy thick ones. Thanks for carrying me through the pandemic, brother.
But like the people saying like he was disgusting or whatever, or he was racist, like, yeah, he drew a bunch of racist shit, like really racist shit, earlier on, and then was like, yeah, that was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. What do you want from a dude who's been dead? As far as on the racism stuff, like, it's honestly disgusting and sickening that you would go out to bat for Symphony, or however you spell his name, but not beloved children's author Dr. Seuss. One fish, two fish, red fish, brown nose, I guess.
Pogo.
If removing racist imagery in Dr. Seuss is cancel culture, what exactly is your culture? Wait, what? I didn't say it's cancel culture. I think it's ridiculous that people are trying to make a bigger story out of this. They are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, my friend. This is what's going on, because conservatives are bored. And liberals are too. They got to talk about something. I mean, obviously, we can't endlessly pontificate on why the Senate parliamentarian could technically be overruled by Kamala Harris, or even literally fired promptly and replaced by the Democratic Party if they genuinely wanted to push for the $15 minimum wage to be included in the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package that is tacked onto the budget reconciliation that only happens in very limited opportunities before you have a midterm election and potentially lose your entire majority, your narrow 50-50 Senate split, and your narrow majority in the House of Representatives. We can't talk about that for as long because that's boring after a while. So you got to find out, you got to find something different. You also can't have a conversation over and over again about like why this time bombing Syria is actually poggers because Joe Biden is doing it, or because we're doing it in Iran, or not punishing the Saudi kingdom or MBS is actually not wrong, because, you know, Joe Biden is doing it and he's doing it in a nice way rather than Donald Trump doing it in a very rude way where he was like, yeah, I don't really care. Who else is going to buy these weapons? Who else is going to buy these weapons? So that's why we have to find something else. We have to find something to get mad about. So what do we get mad about now? We get fake mad, or maybe real mad because of all the fake outrage turning into real outrage about Dr. fucking Seuss and their foundation saying we're no longer going to publish some of these books. They should just probably change it and then republish it. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people overall. Yeah, he once supported the Japanese internment camps, but years after the war, he literally went out of his way to write stuff like Horton Hears a Who, a person is a person no matter how small. Like he is a dude who had at the time during World War II had like definitely expressed a lot of anti-Asian sentiment. He has a lot of anti-black imagery as well. But he's been dead for a while, and also on top of that, straight up repented for it, and I think probably redeemed himself. And to the people who are going to say, well, he's not redeemed in my eyes because he drew such horrible things, then okay, well, you're sick then. All right, you got it. Go dig up his corpse and fucking defecate on it, okay? Like, motherfucker's been dead since every Zoomer that says that they're upset about this has been alive. And he wasn't even like super based or anything either.
8 months of the most quality and ranged content hassle.
Like, see, the thing I don't understand is, like, do you guys not have grandparents? Like, are they all dead? Do you not have parents? Like,
guess I'll keep this going.
I hate to go like full blown conservative here, but like old people are racist, dog. Okay? Like, they just are. They're from a different time. They have an entirely different worldview. They don't understand a lot of the shit that's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you still learn to love them. You love them regardless.
I be in the gym just working on my fitness.
This whole thing has been blown up by Twitter. The only two options in that discourse is he's a racist or cancel culture is out of control. Yeah, no, here's the third option. All of this is ridiculous. And the only reason why we are having this conversation is because ridiculous people are very bored.
Six months.
Like, your parents, newsflash to all the Zoomers in here who think that like everyone's supposed to be like as open-minded as you. Your parents and your grandparents are probably super fucking homophobic. They're probably kind of racist.
Thanks for ruining my life.
No matter what, if you're lucky, if you are a lucky person in my audience, they're liberals. Okay, so they love, I don't know, bombing Iran and shit like that, but are otherwise at least a little bit more open-minded to the marginalized communities that I just mentioned. Okay. That's if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, then they're complete psychopaths who they're complete psychopaths who think that, like, you know, vaccines are fake and they cause you to have autism and homosexuality and all this other fun stuff. So, you know what I mean?
Seuss Enterprises announcing that it will cease publication of 6 of the late author's books due to racially insensitive illustrations. They include And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo. The company telling the Associated Press that they portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong, and ceasing sales of these books.
Literally, no one supports neocon foreign policy.
Stars days feels strong, man.
What? What are you, crazy? Like, liberal foreign policy is nearly identical to neocon foreign policy, okay? It is defending America's 300 bases around the world, or however many bases we have around the world. Like, you're delusional if you think that, like, most of your parents, the more open-minded ones, at least don't give a shit. You know what I mean? That we're doing such devastation all around the world, rather than like actively supporting it. I feel like people just actually don't touch grass or something. I don't know what it is, and assume that like everyone is just like the 11-person splinter Discord group that you created after the original Discord group that you were in. The original Discord server that you were in wasn't woke enough about, like, I don't know, comparing, 700 plus bases. Oh, thank you. Yeah, comparing,
for 2 months, Pog.
like, circumcision practices to genital mutilation or something. You know what I mean? Like you split and you created your own Discord because, like, you know, a child is not able to consent to having their foreskin snipped off, and your new group is like is saying stuff like everyone in the previous group is actually CIA and also a pipeline to fascism and a direct line to the CIA, which is why we created this new splinter group. Don't worry, there's going to be a new splinter group that comes out of that splinter group, or at least a new Discord group message where you talk shit about all the other people in your fucking splinter group about how someone in your splinter group is also CIA. Okay? What I'm saying is, your worldview, in a lot of instances, is defined by your immediate experiences. And unfortunately, on the internet, a lot of people end up, especially in leftist circles, this is like something I have personally experienced. In leftist circles, like, people like to create smaller and smaller in-groups so that, you know, people that agree with them in every single way and in every single capacity can be, can get together and talk about how they have their opinions and how correct they are. And unfortunately, that creates a very sheltered worldview that oftentimes makes people feel like everyone is a certain way when they're clearly not. Bro, I have to meditate so many discussions between sheltered people online because people on both sides get repulsed by the opposing opinion, and you have to basically force them to talk it out because no one's going to believe your argument if you just yell at them and try to get them banned.
Request my monthly attention from chat BXQC cucked me 2 days ago. Anyways, chat, peepo kiss.
Why are you subtweeting Brace? See, that's the funniest thing is, like, I have disagreements with people on the left all the fucking time. I still love them. And I still think, for the most part, that they're doing a great job, or they're entertaining.
5 months. Let's go. Ajan Pogo, Ajan Pogo, Ajan Pogo, Ajan Pogo.
My mom was Japanese. My dad is white American. My mom warned me as a child that racism against Asians is wholly accepted in America. This is 100% true.
3 months.
And I need to grow thick skin. That's not true, really. I mean, it's good to have confidence within yourself, but, like, you know, it's not your fault that people are being fucking racist towards you. It's not surprising that Dr. Seuss was racist against Asians and crimes against Asian Americans are skyrocketing. No, this is not connected to one another. Don't be ridiculous. Absolutely zero people know that fucking, like, 12 people before yesterday knew that Dr. Seuss was racist or against Asians. And again, even less people know that his depictions of Asian people in a racist way was atoned for. That last part is ridiculous.
7 months of radicalization.
Like, the current wave of xenophobia is coming from anti-China sentiment, anti-Chinese sentiment, because they are very successfully becoming a hegemonic power, and that is terrifying to Americans who live and have taken advantage of being the dominant country, a dominant superpower in the world for so long, for as long as they've been alive. So that fear manifests in very different ways. Okay, one of which is just fucking hating Asian people. Coronavirus being directly linked back to China for some incredibly psychopathic and racist reason is another reason why Asian hate crimes are skyrocketing right now in this country. But everyone's always been racist against, or racism against Asians have been deemed acceptable is the correct take regardless. But assuming that people are being racist against Asians right now more than ever before is because of, you know, Dr. Seuss's fucking pro-Japanese internment camps book that he wrote, like, or a cartoon that he wrote fucking 100 years ago is, I'm sorry, kind of an insane take. Oh, they're saying it's only getting worse, not necessarily because Dr. Seuss made anti-Asian comics. Yeah, okay. If you didn't mean that it's happening because Dr. Seuss made anti-Asian comics, then yes, then that take is true. Also, my favorite comment always is this one. Are you ready for this? Where the fuck is it? Whenever I say like a group is a racist, someone will always be like, well, Asia, or there's hate crimes happening against a certain group. Someone will go, well, they're fucking racist. Okay, what are you, like, trying to fight fire with fire? Yeah, some old Asian people are racist as fuck. If you met Vietnamese, like older Vietnamese people, they are super fucking reactionary a lot of times. Okay, that doesn't change the reality. Like, you can't just turn around and be like, no, I'm gonna fight fire with fire. I am going to be doubly racist because I saw you being racist to other people. You know what I mean? Like, it goes back to my original argument that, like, yes, our parents are they're from a different culture, they're from a different understanding of the world, and yes, they are fucking racist. All right, chill out. Brother, I fight fire with fire, brother. This is a really fucking awesome video. Alex Jones had a leaked video saying, I wish I never met Trump. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too.
7 months. Love you, chat hassle. Vine jam.
Anyway, is the problem with the left that we're playing by the rules of a game GOP shifting on, or is it we elected gutless people and fake progressives? No, the problem, not the problem with the left. The problem with, like, American politics in general is that there is what's actually going to happen in the realm of politics, and then what we want to happen because we believe that it will be better for the working class. And $15 minimum wage, it's becoming increasingly more apparent to me, was something that just was not going to happen, which fucking sucks, because I really did think for a moment that it was going to happen. Maybe it still will, and I'm wrong, but like the fact that they just caved on it, the fact that they
old peepo bigoted. I don't need sleep, I need answers.
The fact that they just caved on it at the finish line is really disgusting. Anyway, didn't we have a discussion about this like a month ago? It was on. We did, actually. That's the irony, is that, like, someone in the chat in the month of December brought something up about Dr. Seuss being racist, and I was like, what? Like the fucking Cat in the Hat guy? I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything about, like, his books or whatever. I never read them. I have no cultural or personal connection to Dr. Seuss or his books. Okay, and I learned about it. I was like, well, you're probably being ridiculous. I know that he's been dead for a minute, so my immediate assumption was like, I assume you're being a little ridiculous. Like this child's cartoon author is like racist or whatever. And we looked into it, and I arrived at my take that I have today, which is that which is the reality that this dude wrote some or drew some racist shit and felt bad about it later in his life and changed for the better, and that's what you're supposed to that's what you're supposed to do. That's what we expect from people to do. That's what we expect people to do. Dr. Seuss died because he was racist.
You're absolutely right. People expecting a guy that grew up.
This is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. Now, for over 20 years, the iconic author's birthday is celebrated in schools as Read Across America Day. President Biden marking the occasion yesterday with a presidential proclamation, but did not mention Dr. Seuss by name amid growing criticism. But the author was celebrated by former President Obama, who read Green Eggs and Ham to children during the 2010 White House Easter egg roll. That same year, former...
Like, what's the take from... I don't even know if there's, like, actual fucking liberals out there who are like, no, we need to fucking cancel. We need to cancel Dr. Seuss. Like, I'm literally shitting and pissing in my pants right now. Like, If we don't fucking cancel Dr. Seuss right now, like racism is going to keep growing. Like, fuck, Obama was racist when he did it too. Like, I don't think anyone, like, I don't think anyone has that take. I think that's just like a manufactured take that the right is attributing to the left, I think. You know what I mean? Because like, it's just straight up ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're literally only defending Mr. Seuss because he streams, dude. Come on, not a good look, bud. Why wouldn't we cancel this? Yeah, exactly. Guys. I'm sorry. I know Dr. Seuss is a really good friend of mine. He's a really great guy. He's a really good streamer. I think you guys are being too harsh on him, okay? This is not a consistent take that I've had, that people, I think, go over the top with cancellations sometimes and whatnot. And I'm only doing it because I find him to be a pleasant individual to be around. Sam, I am constantly trying to give you green eggs and ham is actually a caricature of Polish people who constantly want to feed you sausages. I don't know why I didn't pull that book too. Yeah, because anti-Polish sentiment is not only accepted, but encouraged, okay? That's why.
Dr. Seuss sucks anyway. Shit law.
Have you ever talked about the EU medical healthcare system and why it's expensive? What? I knew it. Someone clip it before he deletes. Yeah, please don't post on LSF, guys. I was cloud chasing, and that's why I defended Dr. Seuss back in December, and I'm defending him still. Mr. Not Dr. Seuss, the 14K Andy.
First Lady Michelle Obama read The Cat in the Hat.
I can't wait for the many Twitter threads, or many Reddit threads exposing me for the racism that I engage in on a daily basis.
To a group of children as well. Now, anger over Dr. Seuss's drawings has grown over the years. A 2019 St. Catherine University study found 2% of Dr. Seuss's human drawings are characters of color, and they are typically presented in a subservient or dehumanized role. Now, The Cat in the Hat has also faced backlash over accusations it's based on minstrel stereotypes. Virginia's Loudoun County Public Schools making news this week by encouraging teachers to
Dude, if you watch Fox News, you'll get brain cancer. This is the greatest example of this. You want to know what the actual story is? Like the foundation, okay? The actual, like, what do you call it? Oh God, this is great. It's so great because like they portray this in a way that makes it so insane. They're like, yes, liberals are saying that Dr. Seuss is actually doing minstrel depictions in Cat in the Hat and therefore should be canceled in its entirety. They are saying that your children will be shot at gunpoint if they ever declare that they have read Dr. Seuss. So here's what's actually going on, okay? The foundation that controls it, the Dr. Seuss Enterprises, told the Associated Press in a statement that coincided with the late author and illustrator's birthday that they are ceasing sales of this book. They're ceasing sales of 6 Dr. Seuss books, including And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo, because of the racist and insensitive imagery in the books themselves. Okay? The thing is, some will say they should retcon it, erase it, and then re-release it. I wouldn't even go that far. Like, from my point of view, fuck it. Who cares? Literally. Straight up. I wouldn't even retcon it. I would just teach people why it's wrong. And even show like Dr. Seuss's own personal point of view and how it has changed and use it as an example as to why like people should learn from their mistakes. Like that is a significantly better lesson there than anything else. Like there's something kind of annoying about like old movies constantly getting like certain parts clipped out on streaming services. It annoys me. I'm like, who cares? Like, it's not like children aren't seeing that one fucking instance and going, okay, now I've decided to be racist against Asian people, or now I've decided to be racist against African people. Like that's not where that comes from.
Hold on.
Dr. Seuss ashes are scattered in the Pacific Ocean, which means, oh yeah, that's true. That's true. He had his ashes scattered. You can't even fucking defecate on his corpse, boys. Shit. Like, I'm totally on board with nuking Confederate statues, right? There's a very specific reason why those Confederate statues exist. It has been consistently and to this day in contemporary society used to oppress African Americans living on U.S. soil and to show them that, you know, to let them know what their place is in American society. But the real problem is not the Confederate statues existing. The real problem is still systemic racism existing, right? I'm totally fine with Confederate statues still being nuked into orbit, though, specifically because of the reason why they were fucking created at the time. This dude, throughout his entire body of work, has some really racist depictions from the past. Most people are probably not even aware of it. That's it. Like, it's not the same as like it's not the same as like it's not saying it's not like he's a cartoonist who literally made a living off of just like dehumanizing black people and showing them as like African tribesmen in like cartoonish depictions, or dehumanizing Asian people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not fucking Ben Garrison. Anyway. Thoughts on the oversight hearing by FBI earlier today? No way. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not even covering that. I'm not going anywhere near that. I hate that. That I know. I was following along the Christopher Wray in the FBI testimony about the January 6th insurrection, but like
Dr. Seuss more like Dr. SSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSssssssss. Poggies.
You think this justifies banning books? No one is banning books, gabagool. Don't be a gabafool. This is the Dr. Seuss Enterprise saying that they are ceasing the sales of the books. Okay? They are ceasing the sales of the books themselves. You understand? It's not like someone was like, we need to cancel it immediately.
Yeah.
Dude, who has the racist imagery? I want to show it. Now, yeah, let's get to the fun stuff. Let's look at the actual reasons why they took these things down, you know?
Yo.
This isn't censorship. This is a company protecting its ass preemptively. But also on top of that, like, it's not only a company here's someone. It's not only a company that's protecting its ass preemptively, but also on top of that, it literally corresponds to Dr. Seuss's wishes. Do you understand? Like, it's not like he was. It's not like he was like, oh, these fucking things are sick. Like, I love. You know, I loved all of these drawings. Like,
yo,
he literally personally fucking apologized for it. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what you want. Also, it's from like 19. Yeah, this stuff is from like 1930s, dude.
Mr. Hassie, please don't cancel Tintin next. Snowy Sag.
So that was actually pretty funny that you mentioned Tintin. I was talking about how I used to how I used to read Tintin comic books when I was growing up and how much I loved it, right? And someone was like, oh shit, you read that racist shit? And I was like, what do you mean? And it literally clicked in my head. Like, it clicked in my head that there was like super, super racist depictions of indigenous people in that book. And I read it when I was younger and I never even thought about it. You know what I mean? Like I never,
Chat, I am
ever,
feeling white
ever
people
thought
and
about
happy
it
white people happy.
as like from the point of view of like you know, colonization and depictions of colonization and how it looked. I still love them. I still have like they still hold a special place in my heart. But you read it before you had a concept of race and never realized it because you had no ability to make that connection and so had no memory. Exactly. When someone brought it up, I was like, oh my God, you're fucking right. I love, yeah, of course, obelisk and asterisk as well. I'm a huge fan. I'm Turkish. Those were the original comics that I read were Asterix and Obelisk, Tintin, I guess Red Kit, which is like Lucky Luke, I think is called. Like those are all of the those are all the comics that I read. Obelisk. Yeah, Tintin in the Congo.
The real problem is the entire idea that statues are needed to remember history, as if Germany needs statues of Hitler in their town square outside their city hall to remember that the National Socialist Party existed at HasanAbi.
Yeah, this is what, yeah, this is Tintin in the Congo, dude. Tintin guilty of racism, let the Congolese decide. Yeah, I never even... Today I'm going to tell you about Motherland Belgium. He revised edition. We're going to start with simple math. So you can tell me what 2 plus 2 equals.
Was racist. Cool.
I like Asterix is the least American thing you've ever said in your life. I mean, yeah. My uncle had all of them. Like, he had all of them. Obelix, not obelisk. Whatever, dude. In Turkish, we called it obrix, which means like, obur means like glutton. So the Turkish translation was that he was like glutton X, kind of. You know what I mean? And, no, not Jank. No. My other uncle. No, he's not fucking... We raised uncle. We all have him. No, dude. He's
Let's
not...
go, BBG.
He's like... He's not like... He wasn't like, oh, these are sick. These depictions of the Congolese is exactly true. Like, that's not why he had him. Anyway.
As buff.
So...
Hassle.
They like this stuff is pretty commonplace and like old school. Yeah, take home a high grade N-word for your wood pile, satisfaction guaranteed. So this stuff is not in the books themselves though. Like, I don't know why Respectable Lawyer is like showing these. Those aren't the these aren't cartoons that were featured in the books, I don't think.
My father told me my hair looked like Tintin's when I was 16. It still haunts me 14 years later.
Only the first images. I think, yeah, this is the one that's like actually in his books. Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, ultimately, a lot of this stuff is like inconsequential. It's just an estate covering their own, you know, protecting their own identity and whatnot, and that's why they because it's not enough on its own. They got to juice it up. Yeah. Greg Abbott announced that he will end statewide mask mandate phase with medical masks, and all business sectors can reopen 100%. This order will be effective next Wednesday. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about California as well in a second. So basically, what he was doing, he's like a George Orwell leftist. You know what I mean? He was like anti USSR and also anti-Nazi, but a leftist still, from what I understand. Dr. Seuss was. And he has a lot of really good art. He has a lot of really good anti-racist comics later down as well. And the wolf chewed up the children and spit out their bones, but those were foreign children, and it didn't matter. And it's an America First person reading Adolf the Wolf, like talking about the connection between America First at the time. Ironic that it's still being used nowadays by Donald Trump and the like. It showed the depiction between America First and Nazism. So he was pretty fucking cool. Like he wasn't. He was actually the irony is I never knew anything about Dr. Seuss, right? And when someone talked about canceling him originally in my community, and like that joke kind of launched an investigation, an impromptu investigation, basically a rabbit hole that I go into, like one of those stun locks, and I found all of his other work. And it's awesome. Like I actually started liking what he was doing. She embraces mom and pop a bit, but Fraulein sure can push. Dr. Seuss based or not, I'm confused. His art is really expensive. Yeah, he's saying that the American Bund was basically just they were Nazis. Like they were Nazis that depicted themselves as patriots. You know what I mean? Relatives nod. Just three fellers going for the ride. America First, Nazis, fascists, communists. See, like he was anti-USSR as well. And Ben Shapiro got a lot out of this. You know what I mean? Like he's getting a lot of mileage out of it. It's not really that big of a deal. It's like a completely manufactured outrage, right? This one was really good too. It's a completely manufactured outrage. Wait, did Mike from PA raid right now? Fuck. Thank you for the raid, Central Committee, Mike from PA. Hope you had a good stream. You happened to raid me at an inopportune time because I will be running my first ad of the day right now. It is top of the hour every hour. It's time for a 60-second ad break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that a lot of your watchers are subscribers of mine as well, so I don't think that they're going to be seeing the ads. But top of the hour every hour. It's time for a 6-second ad break. You no longer want to see the ads. All you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account. All right, it's whatever. I just already ran the ad. Who cares? We're going to talk about Texas. So you don't want to announce ads anymore? No, I'm still going to announce them. Fuck the haters. Fuck the haters, baby. We will talk about this in a second. The open efforts to suppress minority vote. Okay. Oh, Madison Cawthorn was invited to Fox News this morning to talk about the Dr. Seuss stuff because they were like, who is a child? Who is like a famous child who probably read Dr. Seuss recently? And they were like, oh, isn't that fucking like a 24-year-old dude? Isn't he like a congressperson or something? Let's bring him on. I mean, he literally is a fucking child. He sounds like a whiny little baby person whenever he talks. Let's bring him to talk about this.
I'm fired up about this. I don't know if you are, but my guess is...
I'm fucking fired up about this, boys. I am fucking fired up about this right now. Dr. Seuss is being canceled. Madison Cawthorn, what do you think about Dr. Seuss being... I'm fucking fired up. This is the most important thing we need to talk about. First, they took the potato away, and I did not speak out, for I was not a potato, nor was I Irish. And now they come for Dr. Seuss, and I am indeed a cat in the hat, sir. I will not allow it. And if you do not speak out, they will come for you next.
If you had a childhood and you read Dr. Seuss, you might be. President Biden canceling Dr. Seuss in a Read Across America proclamation. This after Loudoun County schools there in Virginia said his books are filled with, quote, Orientalism, anti-blackness, and white supremacy. Look, Congressman, these cancellations getting more and more outlandish by the day. When does this stop?
Well, brother, I was going to go to the gym after this hit, but I don't have to now. I'm already fired up. That is absurd. You know, inside of our Congress, we actually have done a lot. We've got a lot accomplished. We have successfully, so far, renamed a post office here in the 117th Congress. So you're telling me that the actual priorities of the Democrats is renaming a post office and now canceling Dr.
So the funniest thing is, like, again, this is not like a Democratic priority, which, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Okay. Like, it literally, this is textbook Democratic, like, liberal politics. So I would not actually be surprised if those dumbasses were literally like, hey, let's put this, you know, stimulus package on the back burner real quick and, you know, focus on the fucking Dr. Seuss's clear and obvious racism or something. But they're not even fucking doing that. So it's like, in this instance, they are attributing the Democrats to canceling Dr. Seuss from shit. Why'd you say rewind time? What?
Renamed a post office here in the 117th Congress.
No, he's saying that, like, they're not doing anything. They're renaming the post office instead, and that's why
Fired up. That is absurd. You know, inside of our Congress, we actually have done a lot. We've got a lot accomplished. We have successfully, so far, renamed a post office here in the 117th Congress. So you're telling me that the actual priorities of the Democrats is renaming a post office and now canceling Dr. Seuss? Americans are actually struggling, and this cancel culture.
What? Because he said he was at the gym or something? Guys, come on, don't be fucking ableist. Like, I don't get it. Like, okay. I mean, first of all, you can still work out if you're paralyzed from the leg down. What do you want? I don't get it. Hey, he's in good shape because he probably works.
Yeah.
Huh?
Said his books are filled with, quote, Orientalism, anti-blackness.
What do you guys want me to?
I
listened to it. I don't know what the fuck you want.
Look, Congressman, these cancellations getting more and more outlandish by the day. When does this stop?
Well, brother, I was going to go to the gym after this hit, but I don't have to now. I'm already fired up. That is.
Yeah, it's lame as fuck that he said that. Okay, but only because, like, okay, never mind. Not because, yeah, chat. You know what? People in role play circles, like role play content creators, get mad because chat loves backseating. But I have the most backseat fucking chat on the planet. Okay, when it comes to reaction, like I have reaction backseaters who are like, you need to rewind and re-react to the thing that we all laughed at already in the way that we want you to react to it.
In Congress. So you're telling me that the actual priorities of the Democrats is renaming a post office and now canceling Dr. Seuss? Americans are actually struggling, and this cancel culture does not help us. If we want to heal America and end this major partisan divide, we need to stop canceling our neighbor and go out and communicate with them.
Also, let's realize that one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is not as concerning as, let's say, oh, I don't know, China.
How is this? I don't know how to, like, answer this. Like, it's so fucking psychotic. Like, in a matter of 1 minute and 40 seconds, and we haven't even gotten to the end of the clip yet. Like, in a matter of 60 seconds, they, one, said that, you know, Democrats are only working on bullshit like, you know, naming post offices and fucking this, neither of which is true. There is a $1.9 trillion stimulus package tacked onto the budget that the Republicans are literally just not going to vote on. They are going to vote no on, okay? Like, That's happening right now. That is immediate relief to the American working class. And that's not a thing in the Fox universe. Do you understand? It does not exist. And I'm not like defending the Democrats here. I'm just, but Republicans are so psychotic that from their worldview, it is so, everything is so insane that I literally have to end up correcting what they're saying and come across like I am defending the Democratic Party here. Like, if Americans are suffering, then why the fuck aren't we talking about the $1.9 trillion stimulus package? Why aren't we talking about the $15 minimum wage?
Or anything
you
else?
are absolutely right. I mean, we are actually losing a battle that's not even started yet against China. They have taken away all of our manufacturing. They're taking care of all of our medications over there. They produce the rare earth materials that we need on our telecommunications satellites. And they are actually taking over parts of Africa and South Asia with their very aggressive stance when it actually comes to building infrastructure. This is the threat that we should be.
Bitch, it sounds like you're jealous, dog. I'm sorry. It literally, you're upset that China is not only building infrastructure in the fucking homeland, but they're also building it in Africa when we can't even build it in fucking Alabama. Is that what you're saying right now? Why don't you aggressively fucking build some infrastructure? First do it here and then you can do it in Africa, okay? No more imperial infrastructure projects before we get fucking high-speed rail, okay? How about that? Like, I mean, getting fucking mad at like Chinese infrastructure projects in Africa is hilarious. Like, they're like, what else? Are you gonna get mad that they're building high-speed rail too? They're building high-speed rail in their own country, and I don't like it. Like, it just sucks. We are such fucking losers. Okay, in America, we are such fucking losers. We are. We are the loser, like, high school football legend who wants to relive the glory days over and over again. And now that pathetic stink is all over us, okay? And we are losing our grip of power on the world. We are losing our grip of power around the fucking world. We can't even fix our own goddamn backyard. And therefore, we're just lashing out in this way on Fox News and getting increasingly more reactionary towards those who live among us and also towards other countries. That's all this is. It's just like we peaked in fucking high school and we're just projecting that anxiety to everyone all the time.
Worrying about because this is a threat that actually harms American lives. Not if Dr. Seuss is racist. I actually laugh trying to think about that.
Yeah, it is a laughable notion for sure. But leave it up to the Republicans to make a laughable thing that we could have just like moved on from. Like, yeah, okay, Dr. Seuss is racist. Whatever, who gives a shit? Fuck you. To Dr. Seuss is racist, and this is the only thing we need to talk about in the news cycle today because there's nothing else going on that's so important. You know what I mean? I know the Greg Abbott order. We're gonna talk about it, please, brother. We're going to get there, okay? I know it happened. Like, you're not the first person. Anyway. Yeah, they're making it seem like Democrats are fucking passing legislation to burn Dr. Seuss books or something when that's not. Dr. Oh, here we go. More Dr. Seuss commentary. Isn't this great? We're back. We're back. We are literally back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are literally back, okay? Everything is good again. Orange Man is gone. Politics is just this. It's all this. I said this when the election cycle was coming to a close. Didn't I tell you that this was all we're going to fucking talk about? Shit like dumbass shit like this.
There's this cancel culture trying to cancel Dr. Seuss now. How far are they going to...
Big goof, my dude, that you're calling a just move on moment here, but when it came to the M-bomb the other day, you hung off for it for hours. Surely the irony doesn't escape you. I am going to do the adult thing here and ban you for a day and move on instead of getting stun locked for an hour.
Take this.
in the 24 hours, you can contemplate on what you did wrong there, okay?
There's no place that they won't go, Ainsley. There's no place they won't go. This week alone, they canceled Mr. Potato Head. This week alone, they canceled the Muppets. They're canceling Dr. Seuss from reading programs. I mean, these are books. I literally know The Cat in the Hat by heart without the book there because I read it so many times to my children. These things are not racist. You have Oreo Cookie chiming in on trans rights. I mean, what is going on?
I have no idea.
It's absolutely insane.
We'll just keep
We've
bringing it up.
lost our minds, and we're encouraging it, by allowing it. You saw, the woke mob goes after CPAC because the stage apparently had Nazi symbolism because these guys are so obsessed with trying to create any link to that.
Which it
and
did.
it looked like Hyatt was doing a good job, but in 24 hours, they too caved to the woke mob.
Don, thanks.
I know Cat in the Hat by heart because that's pretty much the reading grade that I have, and I've never learned to read any further. So it's the only time I've ever read a book. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read. That's the only thing I know how to read. You can't seriously think you're smarter than him, LMAO? Oh my god, that's awesome. Best bait today. So many libtards in here, LMAO, censoring what the left does best. Oh, fuck yeah. That's a role play. Oh, it's a role play, Andy. We got one. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. That's very cool. This makes me happy. This is why I do. Listen. Tyler won't have my babies. This is why I fucking do, Grand Theft Auto roleplay and stuff. Okay. That's great. My friend, no, I do not think I'm smarter than Donald Trump Jr. You're right. He is a brilliant person. Can we agree that it's pretty fucked? People want to cancel shit like children's books? No one is trying to cancel children's books. The estate itself decided to pull out of the many works of Dr. Seuss 6 books that had racist depictions of people in it. Personally, I don't even give a shit. Okay? I do not give a shit. Don't care. Better to just be like, this was a racist image. This was a racist depiction of black people that is unacceptable. And Dr. Seuss himself does not find this to be an appropriate thing to do. Okay? Because that is the reality. Dr. Seuss, throughout his life, atoned for the depictions, the racist depictions that he drew, black people and Asian people as. We should cancel Teletubbies, to be honest. Unrealistic body expectations for men. That's pretty funny. The funniest thing is when this sort of thing happens, right? When this sort of thing happens, like people fucking say like, "Oh my god, the libtards are at it again," right? When in fact, most of the books that get banned, they go under the radar. Okay, because it's not like Dr. Seuss or some shit, and they're like actually fucking pulled. And you are going to be shocked to find out that it's not liberals doing it. It's fucking Christian conservatives banning like books that have LGBT depiction and shit like that. It's like Arthur getting pulled in Alabama because in that episode, 2 of the fucking rats are gay. Oh my God, I'm speaking like Don now. 2 of the rats are gay and having a gay wedding. It's shit like that. That's what fucking conservatives routinely advocate to ban. And I don't see you dumbasses fucking losing your minds over it and freaking out because you're conservative and you think that's okay. You think that's poggers, okay?
There's this cancel culture trying to cancel Dr. Seuss.
Anyway, why are they acting like Democrats are responsible for this instead of literal private companies? I don't know. I don't know. Not to mention the conservatives are freak out and ban books on evolution to this day. Yeah, exactly. It's so fucking stupid. Anyway. But like I said, the reason why they're talking about this endlessly now is because it's like a fun little story that you can immediately throw your hat in the ring in the conversation and like beat a dead horse over and over again. Do you understand? Oh, liberals trying to cancel again. No, they're not. That's fucking bullshit. Okay, it's a private private estate that decided to pull some of the books for race depictions of black people and Asian people. It's not all of the books. Okay. You're being ridiculous. No one is like forcing them to do this at all. No one gives a shit for the most part. And the only reason why I'm talking about it is because, again, I love crying about the outrage around the outrage cycle because it's fucking fun. But at least I'm honest. I'm not turning around and being like, this is the end all be all. The most important thing is that liberals are canceling this, or Republicans are fucking losing their minds over this. Like, oh, like, no, it's bullshit. Okay. It's all performative. We're all playing a role. We're all acting out the roles that we were predetermined to act out in this situation. And that's why it gets a lot of play. Shit like this gets a lot of fucking play. A bunch of conservative schools banned the Harry Potter books because they depicted witchcraft. Ironically, she should probably get defended by the right for being canceled for being a TERF. Anyway. Liberals, it's time to make a decision. Either fight against digital book burnings or ditch your political descriptors. Sliding with book burners is dictionary illiberalism. Yeah. Anyway. We're moving on from this, but like I said, Dr. Seuss had some pretty fucking cool art as well, and I highly recommend you check it out. Oh, fuck. It's Charlotte Clymer, so I can't unfortunately see her tweets because she blocked me. Banning that led with the paragraph stating, oh, so they weren't banned, they weren't removed. Students can still check them out. Fake news. Because it centers around the commemoration, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, she loves fucking writing shit like this. Oh, here it is. This is the actual thing. Which is that in 2019, of the 10 books most challenged and banned, 8 of them were solely because of LGBTQ themes, by the way. This is what I was going to mention. New York Times has looked into this as well. This backs my previous point that I was making earlier, which is that conservatives love banning books. They like legitimately love trying to ban books and pull them because they depict LGBTQ people and they can't have that. But we never talk about that. What's wrong with Charlotte Clymer? What? Like, what do you mean? She's the textbook definition of like strapping on a fucking rainbow flag on a Raytheon laser guided missile. Like literally, that's her job. She is the ultra lib. Like when people say, oh, liberals, like, you know, Republicans, they want to bomb the Middle East. Liberals want to bomb the Middle East, but with like Black Lives Matter and rainbow flags on it. Like that's an exaggeration for the most part. But Charlotte Clymer literally does that for the Human Rights Watch by like giving Raytheon a 10 out of 10 for LGBT acceptance within their ranks. And no, she blocked me for making fun of her. I forget what I said, but I'm sure it was something that I said that like triggered her, so she fucking blocked me. Who cares? She gets clowned on like every week. Off topic, but did you see yesterday Dave Rubin being transphobic and agreeing with Candace Owens that he should be removed from LGBT? Ugh. It's just so lame. It's not happening. All right, they're desperate. They're flailing. Okay. She's what neoliberals keep around so they can trot her out and gain progressive points? Kind of, yeah. She was giving Oreo hype because they said something mildly progressive about trans and then ignore the fact that they're being sued for using slavery. Oreo uses slavery. I mean, who doesn't use slavery, you know? Or is there anything like different going on? I'm not even keeping up to the. I'm not even up to date with the latest child slavery practices that multinational corporations use.